Hello and welcome to Thursday morning video. I'm Debbie. It's LindaZ. We're here to talk about some fun stuff today. Well, I'm not sure it's that fun. I have a problem with a bag that I made. Actually, I'm fine with my bag that I made. I just know that I could have done a little bit better on the top stitching on the bag. And so I was thinking, why not share my dilemma with everyone? So I have the top stitching here that doesn't really show as much as I would like it to. And I was trying to find ways to make top stitching show. And then I just realized that practice makes perfect always. And I just wanted to show you some of the steps that I could have gone through, and it would have been a little bit better, my top stitching. So why don't you come on over here and we'll look at what top stitching is all about.
Hi, sewing friends. It's Linda here with a cup of coffee. I hope you have one too. The wonderful thing about this channel is that it's a tribute to sewing, quilting, and embroidery. We showcase an array of machines that will fit every project that you can even imagine. Do you enjoy our content? Well, then please lend us your support with a subscription, a like, a comment, positive comments. We love hearing from you. For product inquiries, just LindaZ.com. It's always open. We have a dedicated sales staff that look forward to helping you make the right choice with your future machine needs. And let's embark on today's sewing journey.
So I just wanted to show you that some of my top stitching here was okay. Like this was a top stitching that I did while I was inserting this zipper into the outer pocket of the bag. And well, you can't really see the stitching that well, but it's not that bad either. I guess what happens is that we get in a hurry and we rush through things, and really the perfection of top stitching comes when we take our time and when we actually do some trial and error. So I can open this up and show you the inside. So basically I should have chosen a lighter color thread in my bobbin for this one, and I didn't. But who's going to see the inside of my bag, right? Not very many people. Well, you just did. But what I used here was a triple bean stitch, and it really holds it down on the outside. But if I'd used a peach color thread or even a lighter gold, then you wouldn't have seen it as much either on the inside. What I'd like to be able to show you today is ways to make these vacations. See how I made a vacation? It was 1/8 of an inch here, and then it sort of went to in between a 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch there, away from the edge of the fabric. And by using the right feet, and by using the right thread, and by using different things, and we'll go through those in a little while, this would have been a completely straight line along here. And perhaps with the right thread, I may have just used a regular thread in my bobbin and not had the need to use a triple bean, and then that wouldn't be as thick here. So there are different choices. So I just wanted to show you that. And by the time I got to the flap, the outer flap that was towards the end of putting the bag together, yes, my stitches were way too short, and I was hurriedly going through the top stitching, and so you can see that some of them are shorter, some of them are a little bit longer. And then again, I should have used a lighter color thread here, like this thread. This is the same color thread on top and bottom, and I would have preferred to use a gold like this one, or beige. See, now this top stitching is really pretty here. When I inserted the inside zipper, I think that was towards the beginning. That was one of my first parts of the bag construction, was the top stitching of this zipper and inserting the zipper there. And that was done pretty well, I think. So so I didn't take the time to change my bobbin back to that color when I was actually sewing from the top. So this would have been a pretty gold. And so let's go through a couple of the, so I have another set of threads that I wanted to show you. I've got this green in the machine right now and in the bobbin, and these are the sets. So basically this was what I used, this green is what I used for the bobbin, doing the sample here, these two samples that I have here. This is a regular 100 weight Metrazine thread, 3-ply 100 weight, and I used a coordinate in the top thread to be able to show how these stitches pop. I don't know if you can see those, but they really pop. And you can see how thick that thread is too as I pulled it to the back. I think that looks like a really nice top stitch. So I did one set of top stitches on a flannel and a second one on a regular quilting cotton, just to show you the difference of how it can pop. So you have to look at things like thread tensions, and you want to make sure that, so I did a couple of samples before I came out with this, and so you can see on the back here that it's very nicely stitched as well. So that's my regular thread. Sure. Okay, so I'm going to lift that up to the camera. So the back side, you can see it has just the regular Metrozine thread in it, so it doesn't show as much on the back side. But those are the parts on the inside of the bag that you don't necessarily want to pop as much as you do the top stitching. And so that's why we put the coordinate thread in just the upper thread and not in the bobbin. And so what I did here is very interesting. I have the 30, so I'm sewing on a Bernina today, and on this Bernina I put the 37 dual feed foot, so 37D, and I've engaged my dual feed, which is my built-in walking foot virtually. Basically, it's a built-in walking foot, and I'm able to start my first row of I can start on the other side and show you that. So I've got a different set here to be able to show you that I can easily start my first row at 1/4 of an inch in from, let's say that's zipper teeth over here. So I could have the zipper teeth hugged up against the edge of my foot, and I could start with my top stitching right next to those zipper teeth, or the edge of my binding, or whatever it is that I'm actually stitching. And so that's, go all the way down, and then I can stop, scissor cut. So I puckered a little bit, but that's okay. And my stitching pops very well. And so what I wanted to show you was how I could set up a second row of the same stitching by lining up that same stitch line that I just did next to that foot. And I sort of just went off the edge there a little bit, but there you go. So we can then stop that and then stitch to cut the scissor cut. And so we've got our 1/4 of an inch next to it. So it looks very, very professional. It looks like a denim type of a look. And that's how we can get that straight line very, very nicely lined up next to each other. And then again, we can show you the back, how that stitch looks really beautiful on the back also, using that regular thread. So I wish I had another section of this bag. I mean, the bag is finished now, so I mean, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. What I'm going to try and do is, when I make my next bag, I'm actually going to take pieces of the fabric with the lining, and I am going to practice my top stitch before I actually do it on my bag, so that I can get the perfect stitch. For example, I'm at 3.5 stitch length. That was the perfect looking, in my opinion, the perfect length of stitch for this double stitch look here that I was going for. This is more for garment sewing here when I was doing the 2 rows. I probably wouldn't want to put a double row on this bag because it looks refined enough to just have the single line at 1/8 of an inch from the edge. But I would have preferred to have my stitches pop a little bit more. I would have preferred to have coordinate thread in the top in a black color like this, or even a gray. And I would have preferred to have a lighter gold thread in my bobbin, using a lighter thread instead of the thick thread that I used here. So that's how I would have wanted to do this, and practice makes perfect. And I just wanted to show you that, yes, I mean, we can make bags and wear them even, because I wear this every day. And then the next bag, we can make it better, and our stitches can be better as we go forward. I also wanted to show you that there are other feet that you can use besides the 37. I did like the fact that 37 1/4 inch foot that Bernina makes has an exactly 1/4 of an inch from the needle to the edge of the foot. And so that's how I was able to make those 2 stitches perfectly aligned by using that foot like that. There is a foot, the zipper foot, the regular 4 zipper foot is very thin and fine. And that's also what I use for top stitching as well. So that's also something that can be used. Maybe not necessarily with a delicate type of fabric or a cushy type of fabric that this denim was. So that wouldn't be the best foot. I think that this dual feed engaged here is the best strength that I could have. And I should have used that maybe with this one. And in that case, I may have used a different line inside of the foot to guide myself at that 1/8 of an inch of a seam allowance. There's also ways to use top stitching with a 10D foot. So that's also a really nice foot, and it's got a guide right down the center of the foot, so you could actually guide yourself down, and you could move the needle back and forth because there is a slit in the foot, so you could actually guide and then have the needle hit just a couple millimeters to the right or to the left of that guide, which would be perfectly aligning then. So that's also a really nice tool to use for top stitching. Then I wanted to show you that in the machine I have a top stitch needle, 90/14. That's really great because it's got a bigger eye. It fits that thicker thread very well, and so it's also very nice. If you're going to be doing actual denim or jeans sewing, you want to maybe take a denim or jeans needle in the same 90. It's a little bit bigger than the top stitch needle, the eye is, and it will make your denim sewing that much easier. So basically, it's a sturdier needle for your denim. Top stitch, though, for making the bags is probably the best one for that. So that's just me trying to troubleshoot myself, trying to find ways to make my stitching look prettier. If you have any ideas, please come on, bring it on, because we'd love to learn something new. We say around here at LindaZ, if we learn something new every day, then it's a good day. So please, any comments are welcome. And just wanted to also say there's more than one way to do everything that we can do. So if you have a different way, please share it with us, and we'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.